Hey everyone, this is Lisa from Life in Layouts, and I've decided that I'm going to tackle all of these layouts that I have already planned, but free will isn't nearly as fun. All right, so let's see what the spinner wheel is going to get for us today. It looks like riding horses at Malachi's birthday party. These photos are from 2012, so a little bit older. I pulled out the Simple Stories Howdy collection, as well as this page map sketch from March of 2011. And you see that right, it is a one-page sketch. I'm going to make a one-page layout. When I'm doing birthday layouts, I tend to do one pages and I will put them together. So I will see if I can go ahead and do the other side of this one page layout here for you guys shortly. I was able to get 14 photos on this one page layout. I decided that I would make the photos of Eli and Malachi a full 4x6, but all of the other kids that attended and did the pony ride, they didn't need a 4x6 photo. So I just made a photo collage of all of them on one 4x6. Down at the bottom of the layout, I pulled out this black paper that has a bunch of the horseshoes on it. And then I used this border strip that has the bandana look to it because most of us were wearing bandanas during the birthday party. It was actually a party favor that we had for everyone that was there. I picked up this collection because I have quite a few photos of us riding a horse, and it actually really interests me that there are like these really cute critters like that fox, and there's a really cute squirrel, and then there's also this random realistic horse as well. It's a very odd combination. I decided to use this yellow tag here that says saddle up and celebrate since it is a birthday layout, and I thought that that was a perfect tie-in. As I was cutting out that tag, somehow I stuck my layout in the pile of paper and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm like looking through all the papers trying to figure out where it is, and it was stuck in between the packs of paper. My photos were there, everything was there. It was so funny. It was one of those times where I was like, I can't believe I lost my layout again. I picked up this collection at the expo at the beginning of the summer, so I hadn't put all of the embellishments on page protectors yet. I do actually take the time and go off camera to do that, but I am going to start to look through the embellishments. I really liked this little square piece here, and I ended up cutting it in half. I needed an item that I could cover up the hole that I had created since the banner piece wasn't a full 12 by 12. And I knew that I was going to be doing a bunch of embellishments in the center. So I really like this wood grain with the grid pattern on it. I did the amazing plan of taking that photo collage and putting it in the center of the layout. However, I did trim down the photos of Malachi and Eli. I just didn't trim them down evenly. So my thought was that I would have a perfect border around the photos, but it doesn't work out that way because the photo of Malachi and Eli are not even. But it's okay, I'm just going with it. I also decided that I wanted to add a little bit more color because right now I just have the black and red. So I did decide to pull in the 1/4-inch strip of the striped paper, and it has all of the colors from the collection. And then I went ahead and added down the wood grain tag, and I am going to put the yellow tab up on fun foam, as well as adding some jute twine to the tag hole. This layout came together super quickly, mainly because it's a one-page layout. And the fact that I have 3 4x6 photos on this layout doesn't give a whole lot of room for other embellishments. Like I said, these photos are from Malachi's 5th birthday, and we had it at Green Meadows Farm. And for the birthday parties, they allow all of the kids to have a pony ride. So it was really fun watching all of them. That photo on the far right is of Eli on the horse, and he is so little. He's probably about 2 in this photo, just a tiny little thing. I really wanted to use this wagon wheel, but I just couldn't find anything to go with it. I liked that Yippee title, and as I was looking through something to go with a wagon wheel, I decided to go ahead and add that. I also really liked this fox, but he was kind of big, and I think that that was the issue with the wagon wheel as well. It was just too large. So I decided to take a break from all of that and go ahead and put my jute twine down with a glue dot. I did decide to add 2 of them, kind of in the top as well as the bottom, just to make sure that that jute twine stayed in place. I went back to the stickers and I found this little squirrel playing a guitar, and she was much smaller, so I thought that that was perfect. I then looked through the foam stickers and found the title Rootin' Tootin' Ride, but I knew I wanted to add some stitching, so I held off on putting that down until I added my stitching holes as well as my stitching. I'm just going to be using this Tim Holtz ruler to add a row of stitching on the outside of the photos. I feel like it just finishes off the top part of the layout, and it ties in the red bandana sticker that I ended up using because I am going to be using red thread. I looked through my threads and ultimately decided on a red. I thought that it worked well with that bandana paper. And then I am going to do most of my stitching offline. I did leave this in because I was trying not to cut out any of the video. I had just very little film for this layout because it came together so super quickly. So you can see me starting the stitching here, but then I do go off camera, so I slowed the video down here just so that you can see the detail of that stitch. There really isn't anything fancy to it. It is just a straight back stitch, but I feel like that texture gives it so much dimension. Once I got the stitching down, I added my title of Rootin' Tootin' Ride, which I think is just a fun title. And then I started to build up that title cluster. I added a little cowboy hat, and I'm looking through the pieces. I have most of the embellishments, the puffy stickers, as well as the foam stickers, and then of course the sticker sheet that comes with the collection. I found a little red star and added that next to the yellow tag, and I'm really glad that I did add that 1/4-inch strip with all the colors, because I feel like I wouldn't have been able to add a bunch of these embellishments down had I not had that color in place. In the title cluster, I added a little horseshoe that has some florals in it, as well as these little diamonds or squares. There's a ton of them in this collection, and I'm just adding them around because I feel like they add just an extra little color to it. I found this little rope piece, and I thought it would be fun to add it right underneath the squirrel. I also did add a cactus right next to the squirrel. When I had visited Bottom of the Bin earlier this year, and I do have a video on that, I'll link it below for you guys if you'd like to check it out. There was this Jolie sticker that has some cowboy stuff to it. So I pulled that out and added a silver horseshoe right next to the yellow tag as well. I pulled out my Simple Stories enamel dots and added the teal color, but I couldn't find any others that matched. I did end up adding a red heart, as well as from my stash, an orange enamel dot. I did decide to do my journaling on camera since this video was pretty short. I really like to use Nicole's technique. I will link her video below. She does have a spreadsheet that you can use that works very well with this Hero Arts die. You can use a spreadsheet to type up your journaling, and then it prints out, and when you run it through the die, it fits perfectly into those strips. You do have to be careful when you're using the Google Sheets because there's no spell check, so you'll need to make sure that all of your spelling is correct, or you do have to manually run the spell check. I also am often asked what font I use. The font is called Shadows into the Light. It is available on Google Sheets and all other Google products. I don't think it's available in Word. I usually like to fill up as much as I can on the spreadsheet so that I'm not wasting paper. And I also cut off the edges and use those for my backings as well. They don't have to be perfect because they are going to be behind my journaling. I like to stack my journaling with 2 pieces of the journaling strips. I stack those together and then I add my actual journaling on top of it. I feel like this gives my journaling some extra dimension, especially when it is right next to other parts of my layout where I have used dimension with fun foam. So once I stack them up, I do like to trim them off because I'm never good at making sure that they are completely straight. And I like the varying sizes of the journal strip. And then I always make sure that I have enough room before I put it down because I have run out of room quite a few times, as well as making sure that they are in the correct order. The journaling on this layout says, "Pony rides stole the show at Malachi's 5th birthday. One by one, the kids hopped into the saddle and clip-clopped around the ring. grinning from ear to ear. Some rode like pros, other bounced along giggling, but every lap was pure birthday magic. All right, that is it for this video. Here is my final layout as well as some close-ups. I hope you guys enjoyed this one-page layout that is great for capturing a ton of photos. If you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layout inspiration, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.